Alabama extended its dominance in the SEC, handing LSU a 20-9 loss as Tigers quarterback Garrett Nussmeier watched much of the second half from the sidelines. The benching came after a 14-yard sack on LSU's first possession of the second half, prompting interim coach Frank Wilson to insert Michael Van Buren. Wilson, in his first game at the helm after Brian Kelly was fired less than 2 weeks ago, made a decisive move as the Tigers trailed 17-3 at halftime. Nussmeier, a fifth-year senior, has battled a torso injury this season and struggled to live up to his preseason Heisman expectations. By the time he left, he had completed 18 of 21 passes for just 121 yards with 2 sacks. Van Buren, a sophomore transfer from Mississippi State, finished 5 of 11 for 52 yards, and while his entry didn't dramatically change the outcome, Alabama never felt threatened. LSU managed to cut the lead to 8 points, but the Tide responded with a field goal to restore a 2-possession margin. Alabama sealed the game when London Simmons recovered a Van Buren fumble with just over 3 minutes remaining, capping LSU's third straight loss and fourth in their last 5 games. The Tigers' season, which began with a promising win over Clemson, has unraveled amid coaching turmoil. Brian Kelly's firing leaves LSU grappling with a $50 million buyout and a search for a new head coach, while interim Wilson navigates a challenging roster and a tough schedule. LSU still has games remaining against Arkansas, Western Kentucky, and Oklahoma, making a winning season far from guaranteed. Questions now swirl about whether Van Buren will remain the starter against the Razorbacks in Week 12. Meanwhile, Alabama, now 6-0 in SEC play and tied with Texas A&M atop the conference, is looking ahead to a home matchup with number 12 Oklahoma before closing the regular season at Auburn. Wins in both games would secure a spot in the SEC title game and strengthen their case for national championship contention. Tide quarterback Simpson led the offense efficiently, completing 21 of 35 passes for 277 yards and a touchdown, though he also lost a fumble. Simpson's performance was solid, but it likely drops him behind Ohio State's Julian Sayin and Indiana's Fernando Mendoza in the Heisman conversation as the regular season heads into its final 3 weeks. Alabama's balance of opportunistic defense and methodical offense proved decisive, highlighting why the Tide remain one of the most consistent teams in the nation. For LSU, the path forward is uncertain, with injuries, personnel challenges, and coaching transitions creating an uphill battle. Alabama, on the other hand, continues to demonstrate why it's among the elite, blending experience, talent, and strategic execution to stay on top of the SEC race and the national conversation.